How about now? Can you hear me now? Well, while we get this figured out, I do want to show you, look at the right-hand corner of your screen.
How about now?
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Audio sounds good. Okay, look at the right-hand corner of your screen. We do have a tornado warning ongoing right now in Orlando. Let me see if, or this isn't Orlando, it's close to Orlando. Let's see, it is in Port St. Lucie, White City, St. Lucie, Viking City. So this is on the east side of Florida. Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger here. There we go. So we do have a tornado warning ongoing right now. This is not warned for hail, however, a tornado. The National Weather Service says a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located at 9 miles west of Fort Pierce South or 10 miles west of White City, moving at 45 miles an hour to the east. So that's what you're looking at right now. And whoo, too far. Again, this is in eastern Florida. See that highlighted in pink. Alrighty, but moving on to the forecast now. There's your forecast. Let's talk headlines. Today, we are in a critical fire weather risk. So we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. We are also talking about some severe weather moving in. We have that severe weather not only today, not only right now in Florida, but also on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. It's a very busy weather day, busy weather week. And we have, as I mentioned, the storms on Saturday as well. So this weekend, it looks like you will be dealing with storms once again, and so will I. So, hey, tomorrow is the last day for the Raising Hail Tour. We are so excited to come to Orlando. As we mentioned, we are seeing some tornadoes, some storms there right now. Well, tomorrow, it looks like you should be severe clear, and we will be doing the Raising Hail Tour. We're excited to be there. Excited to be in Orlando, giving the forecast. Can you see this whole thing? If you want to save some money, save $10 off, use code RHTTaylor10, RHTTAYLOR10. Alrighty, moving on. Your storm reports. What a busy weekend it was. Let's go a little bit bigger here. What a busy weekend it was. Dallas. Who saw those storms in Dallas? I woke up early for those storms in Dallas. We were doing live coverage actually right there where you see the radar right there. We were doing live coverage at 6:30. I was actually up at 5:45 doing live coverage on Saturday morning. We were talking about these storms as they were happening. Before we even saw storm reports, we were talking about where the hail would be. And I think I did a pretty good job about determining where the hail would be. And then our mapping meteorologist put that on Hail Trace. We got some pictures out there as well. Lots of pictures on social media. If you haven't seen that, go back and look at it. High wind and even some hail in Lake Charles. We saw some decent hail in Lake Charles, decent hail outside of Houston as well. So that was on the northern side of Houston, pretty far outside of the city there. And then some hail in Louisiana and even in Alabama. Now we have a very, very, very low risk for hail today in Florida, but we're not going to say it's impossible. Even some hail in Georgia. So we had a very, very busy weekend. And there's your tornado that happened this morning in Orlando. And then we've got another ongoing tornado warning out in East Florida right now. Temperatures are on the warm side. Temperatures are way above average for this time of the year for most of the U.S. However, as we move into tomorrow, we might see a little bit of a cool down. But for the most part, we remain above average throughout the middle of the work week. We're pretty quiet right now, other than down in Florida. That's still very active. Tornado warning right now. Here I can make this a little bit smaller so that you can see it better. And can I move this over at all? No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so that's our main activity. Other than that, we're pretty quiet across the U.S. So we get a little bit of a break before we get storms happening on Wednesday and Friday, and we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But the temperatures right now are 66 here in Oklahoma, 60 degrees in Denver. We do have some high wind out there right now, so all of those areas highlighted in pink, that is a red flag warning. So high wind across Nebraska, high wind across South Dakota right now. We also have a dangerous fire risk as well. So that fire risk highlighted there in red and in tan for both today and tomorrow. Holy moly, I wonder, is this This is all on Thursday for Oklahoma City, for Texas, for that fire risk on Thursday. It's dry out there. Look at the lack of moisture you can see across the western side of the U.S. You can just see how dry it is. Maybe these people in this area are putting a little extra lotion on their hands because it's so dry out there. You don't want those knuckles to crack. But look at this. We've got an intrusion of some moist air moving in from the Gulf, and you'll start to see this move up into the southern side of the Mississippi Valley, and then tracking off to the east. Now, what does this mean? What did I tell you? That we were going to have warm temperatures. We have moisture. Those are two main ingredients that we need for storms. And we have chances for storms not only today out in Florida, but as we head into Wednesday and Friday, we have another chance for storms. Your wind forecast for today, as I mentioned earlier, what we're watching for here is going to be a tornado. Wind potential, the chance for hail is very, very low. Put that wind forecast there in the low category, and even this tornado forecast. Oh, where are we at now? Let's go down here. In the low category as well. And Florida, Orlando, Fort Myers, Miami, all included in that. And obviously we are getting a tornado warning right now, so maybe this should have been upgraded to a moderate category. Just because we put it in the low category doesn't mean there won't be any tornadoes. It just means they'll be pretty isolated. It won't be widespread. Your forecasted hail size for today, if we see any hail at all, it'll be small, small, small. I have up to the size of a penny. You can see right there, there's a little bit of yellow showing up on our significant hail model map, but I still think that we are probably not going to see any hail at all. However, on Wednesday, that's a different story. So on Wednesday, we have a low chance for isolated storms, isolated hail, anywhere from Lufkin to Shreveport to Little Rock. Dallas not included in this, but right on the fringe of the city, we do have a chance for hail in Dallas. Again, isolated storms here, but this could change over the next few days as we get a little bit more information about this storm system. Oops, here we go. As we get a little bit more information about this storm system, then maybe we will upgrade this to a moderate risk level or maybe even some larger hail. So we'll have to see what happens over the next few days. We'll get more information about this storm system at least by tomorrow. It's just kind of hard to tell what's going to happen so far out. It is Monday. It's only Monday, but we'll be talking about Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Tuesday's pretty quiet. Here's Wednesday. Wednesday, maybe? Is it going to work? There you go. There's your storms on Wednesday. Hang on. Let's pull this back a little bit. There's your storms on Wednesday. Anywhere from, as I mentioned, right outside of Dallas to Little Rock to Lufkin to the northern side of Louisiana. That's where we're expecting storms on Wednesday. Thursday, we get another little break, a little bit of snow out to the west here. But then by Friday, we have another chance for storms, and that chance will be right here in the Mississippi Valley. So there's your chance for storms on Friday. Hang on, let's back that up a little bit here. Watch those storms pop up late in the evening into the late night hours on Friday. So it could be a late Friday night for some of us dealing with these storms. And we do have a pretty good chance for severe weather here, okay? We're talking tornadoes, high wind, and large hail. We're talking a little bit of everything. So there's your risk on Friday. What about your risk on Saturday? This moves to the east just a little bit from St. Louis to Memphis. We're seeing this risk pivot to Atlanta and including portions of Mississippi and Alabama and even portions of Tennessee and Kentucky. So that's on Saturday. It could be a very, very busy weather weekend for a lot of us as well. So there's your risk on Saturday. This is all caused by a low pressure system that's hanging out on the west coast right now, but you can see that low pressure system. You see that right there? You see what I'm referring to? It's hanging out on the west coast right now, but as it moves to the east, we're going to see that cause storms later on this week. So there's your low pressure system. This is on Thursday, so causing those storms on Wednesday, but that's not the only one that we're dealing with. Actually, this one looks a lot more impressive. So we've got this trough here. Do you see the trough? This dip in the jet stream. And whenever this low pressure system starts to dig its way into the trough, that is when we know we are absolutely going to see storms. And we look for these jet streaks. This is what we call a jet streak. These areas highlighted in orange and red that's where we're expecting the strongest storms to be. So I always say that the strongest storms are going to be next to the low. So there's the low right there. So we're probably talking about some pretty strong storms right in between St. Louis to Chicago. And then where do we see the highest winds in the upper levels? That's also where we're going to see some pretty strong storms. So if I were to locate an area this far out on Friday that are going to have some pretty strong storms, I would say right in here, anywhere from Chicago all the way down to the middle of Arkansas. That's where we're going to see the strongest storms. Again, Dallas not included in this right now. However, we could still, we could see rain. We're probably just not seeing those severe storms. That's Friday, that's Saturday, as this moves out to the east by Sunday. Oh, look, another one. Okay, so we've got another trough moving in by next Tuesday, which means that not this week, but next week, we could do this all over again. This is just a series of storms just over and over and over. I was calling this March Madness because it feels like March started and these storms just took off, and we are going to continue to see them over and over and over, not this week, but also probably next week as well. Before I get going and off of my soapbox about the storms, do we have any questions on any platforms right now? Let's see. I'll check. Any questions? No, I don't see anything. So I'll move on. Alrighty. I've got my Raising Hail Tour shirt on today. Do you guys like it? This is what you get. It's got like Raising Hail Tour on the back. This is what you get whenever you go to our Raising Hail Tour. So if you don't have one yet, you can grab one whenever you are in Orlando for our next event. Let's talk temperatures here. You can see that temperatures are pretty nice today in the 60s. Gorgeous weather today. What about tomorrow? Maybe a little bit cooler in the upper 50s for tomorrow. We've got some upper 60s sneaking in there. 63 in Denver, 60 degrees in St. Louis, 65 out in Memphis. What do we have on Wednesday? Really, really nice days. Holy moly, 77 in Oklahoma City on Wednesday, 83 down in Dallas. What did I tell you? We need heat for storms, and we sure have it. That's really, really nice on Wednesday. Moving on to Thursday here. Still pretty warm out there. Looks like a great week. There's your low pressure system. Looks like a great week to get out, climb on some roofs as long as it's not raining. The good news is that most of these storms are going to be coming in the afternoon and evening hours. So you're probably going to be done with your work day by then. The storms will come through, and then maybe you'll have even more work to do the following day. It looks like we're going to stay above average as we head into the rest of March. This is March 15th through the 19th. Temperatures are likely to stay above average through the central and eastern portion of the U.S. However, out to the west, it looks pretty quiet, pretty cold, much cooler out on the western side of the U.S. What about your precip? What about your rain? Rain or snow, it can be either this time of the year, but we're kind of getting into that point where it's probably going to be rain. It looks like we're staying above average for your rainfall as well, so that's great news for our fire concern. However, some of the biggest fire concerns are down here in the southern portion of the U.S., and unfortunately that's where we are staying the driest. However, out to the east, out to the west, we're bookended by a pretty good chance to stay above average in terms of rainfall right now. So this is just through the 15th, March 15th through the 19th. I see Francisco's on here. Francisco says 5 stars. Thank you for jumping on, Francisco. We appreciate it. And just one last reminder, go to the Raising Hail Tour. We have one more in Orlando, Florida. Use code RHTTAYLOR10 for $10 off of your ticket. That is a $25 ticket that if you use this code, it'll be $15. You get a free lunch and you get a free t-shirt, as I mentioned. And we won't just have the forecast, Derek's hail forecast there, but we will also have some amazing sponsors. Our sponsors are absolutely amazing. They talk about marketing. They talk about how to close claims faster. One of the sponsors that we've heard a lot of people talk about is Merlin Law, which you can actually, I think you saw their ad earlier, and they talk about how to, like the legality behind a lot of claims and what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. When do you call a lawyer? Here we go. We have Premier Claims. That's the ad that you're seeing right now. Premier Claims is also phenomenal for closing claims fast as well. They do a lot of commercial, but also residential structures. And then we have, last but not least, on our ads today, the American Contractor Show. If you do not follow them on social media, they are a phenomenal follow. So make sure that you are following them on social media and staying up to date with the latest things in the industry. And thanks for joining us today. Again, if you want more weather updates, we are always posting on our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you're interested in a hail, wind, or tornado map from over the weekend, we have it for you. Head over to hailtrace.com or give us a call at 855-334-4245 or email us at info@hailtrace.com or head over to our website, hailtrace.com. And that is how you can see the most up-to-date maps. We have our hail map from Dallas. We have our hail map from right outside of Houston on there. We have our hail map from Lake Charles this weekend. I mean, just about every state in the South got hit by hail this weekend. So we have all of that, of course, mapped for you at hailtrace.com. Alrighty, thanks for joining us today. We will see you back here, same time, same place, hopefully on the green screen, because we would love to get back on the green screen. We do have someone taking a look at our computer in just a few minutes, so hopefully that will push us back on the green screen for tomorrow. All righty, we'll see you back here at noon tomorrow.